Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Part of the Pride and Aston Villa Women podcast. We are pleased to invite, let you all know, we've got a special guest on this week. We've got the wonderful Chloe. Chloe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm very excited to be an honorary Villa fan for tonight.
I was going to say, as soon as I saw we were going away to Everton, I was like, I know who we need to get on the pod. And of course, your first thoughts. So of course, we do have Chloe on because Everton fan over here. And we're going to be talking about the annoyingly frustrating, but not for Chloe, draw at the weekend. In lots and lots of detail, and then we'll be talking about all the latest transfer news and of course our new manager Natalia Arroyo, which was announced last night. Annoyingly, 5 minutes I think before I went on the other podcast, and I was like, trying to watch all the videos and trying to find out who she was. So we're going to talk all about it now. At the weekend, then let's get my little table of results up. Hey, look. We were the only draw of the weekend, which take from that what you will. However, a vital point for us both. So what we're going to do is, Chloe, we're going to come to you first, because from your perspective, you've had quite a busy transfer window already. So what were your expectations going into this match?
Well, to be honest, going into it, I thought we could win it. I was feeling very confident with the signings, with the team. Like, we've got old players back that were injured, so I was feeling really good. I was feeling like, yeah, we can do it, we can win. It was obviously also our first game back because the week previously we had the FA Cup game postponed due to frozen pitch, so that changed everything because it was like, oh, they had a week to warm up and now we didn't, so it was going in literally fresh. It was like, this could now go either way, so felt good. Then upon watching the game, it was like, yeah, we're a bit shaky. We're not that great. I fully think, a bit rusty, yeah. I fully think you were by far the better team. Like, I generally, although I'm pleased with points, do not think we deserved a point. I think we weren't the best we could have been. I was very, very excited to see Gargo play, Kelly Gargo, our new signing. She's so quick.
Every time, I mean, we'll talk about it in a minute, but every time she got on the ball, I was worried. I was like, no, get her off, defend.
Take the ball. A proper battle with Moritz down that side.
I mean, it was fantastic to watch, but like, again, heart proper going, heart and mouth moment, yeah.
Yeah, she's so quick, and I'm very, very excited to see what she can do throughout the next couple of months for us. Was also very excited to see Sarah get her first goal. Even though she's not scored for us yet, her first goal. From that first goal ever. Found that very, very exciting. And yeah, I thought once again Courtney Brosnan had a incredible game. We're always a big fan of our court on the other podcast, but just got to sing her praises absolutely everywhere. That she is absolutely incredible, and yeah, I'm quite excited as an Everton fan now. I've never been this excited before because we've always been awful, but new signings, almost a new team essentially. Yeah. I'm just very, very excited for what the next few months can hold. We're winning the Champions League.
Honestly, would love you to. We really, really would. Because, yeah, like you said, like all of these transfers coming in, were you surprised that none of them, apart from Hayley Ladd, none of them started, did they? They all came on as subs. Was that a surprise?
A little bit of a surprise, yeah, because I would have thought, oh, there's these four now, there's these like four brand new signings that, you know, people want to see, that everyone's been so excited about. Like, Everton finally have players we want to show. Maybe it's a tactical thing for just starting them, you know, because they haven't played for a month, just over a month. Maybe it was a tactical thing, like bring them on as super subs type thing. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that I thought we would have had at least like two starters, two coming on. Brian has said that there's one more player to come, so I'm quite I'm quite Chloe. It's Chloe Kelly. I can just announce it now. It's going to be Chloe Kelly.
Could you imagine the reaction
It's not.
when Chloe Kelly turns up in Merseyside? Ah, I love it.
I wish it was, but I do not think it will be Chloe Kelly. No, it's going to be Dina Costello. Because she's leaving Bay.
I love it. Oh, can you imagine though if like there was a rumor that Chelsea were going to go for someone, and then it turns out, oh, actually she's in a different shade of blue. Got to Everton. Imagine if you stole Germa from Chelsea.
Ooh, imagine if we did.
Oh my mate, that's it. That'd be great. Like I'm excited. It's fun. Like Haley Ladd is an absolute legend. Really loving her. We've got like hello. Barcelona and Everton, who'd have ever thought that would happen? Not me.
No, it's going to be a Barcelona-Everton final in the Champions League, and then Everton are just going to win it like 10-0. Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a plan. Next season, Champions League, we're coming for you.
Oh, we're going to have like a pod road trip to the Champions League final when Everton get there. That'll be great. I'd love to say Villa would get to a Champions League final, but we haven't signed anyone. So, and in fact, we're letting players go. Just like, yep, you can go, and you. But again, we're gonna talk all about it as we get there. Now then, what particularly? I know you said you didn't play great, but apart from the goal, did you see were there any other highlights that kind of really stuck out? Any other key moments for you?
I mean, I did say it before, but I did really like watching Kelly Gargo play, and her link up with another new signing, Emma Watson. I thought that was
she's magical, isn't she, Emma Watson? So
she is so magical. Just cast a little spell and
dances her way through. It's not helpful. There's Emma Watson and an Emma Thompson. It's just like, well, none of us of a certain age are going to think that they're footballers at this point.
That's so funny.
Oh, Sophie has a cat.
Was that a flicker of a cat that we just saw?
No, that's it. I think he might actually settle on my knee. 1 second. He's too close to the camera to say hello.
Hey, just glad he's there. Got another viewer. Well, hey. I love it. Now, just quickly then, Chloe, from the weekend, on the weekend, should I say, sorry, away to West Ham. And of course, they've just beaten Spurs in the Subway Cup or the Meatball Cup or whatever we're calling it these days. However, it looked like people getting
Footlong Cup.
The what cup jersey?
The Footlong Club.
Footlong Cup, yes. The Meatball Marinara Cup. All of the sandwiches. Now, so West Ham might be riding a bit of a high. What are your predictions, Chloe, for Everton at the weekend?
To be fair, last season we managed to beat them 2-0. We beat them 2-0 at home. So I'm kind of hoping we're going along the same vibes. But I don't know. I think it'll be tough because West Ham have all of a sudden become decent. They've got
their moments. Yeah, they've definitely
got their moments. They were really good in the Subway Cup, Sub Cup, as it's also referred as. They've got some really good, strong players that are a little bit like, oh, what's going to happen here? But also, I've got a lot of faith in us. I've got a lot of faith in Brian. I've got faith in Courtney. I've got faith in Emma Watson and all our signings, new signings and old signings. And with Elise Stenovic's going to be back as well. Like Brian has said that she's making her way back. So we're getting slowly but surely we're getting our players back, and I think it might be. I'm going to say 2-1 to us.
2-1. Go positive. Yeah, like that.
Strong prediction. I can see that happening. I can see us going behind and then getting the two goals back.
Yeah, I could see you doing that. To be fair, based on how the game went on the weekend, because you got stronger for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, hey, that if Everton had started with their second half lineup, I think we would have been in trouble. I don't think that would have been a draw, because those last 20 minutes, it was just like, oh no. But yeah, looking at the stats, I mean, we do love a stat on the podcast. Also, Chloe, Everton's bench is actually, one, you've got one. Two, you had more people on the bench than we did.
I know.
What
When did we get a bench? Like when was that put in?
Walton Hall Park. You've never had one before, but they've actually physically put a new bench in for you.
It's because we've never had enough players to have a bench, so they've just been stored at the side. But we've had a bench put in now because we've actually got players. There's little beanbag. We've got a bench. Like, I wouldn't have said that before Christmas, but now full bench, full starting 11, and Freya, we don't need to don our boots anymore.
And
like,
just in case.
Hey,
Bright is doing very well indeed. Yeah, because stats wise, I mean, we'll talk about it. Because I know Tracy and Emily, you were both there at the weekend, weren't you? Shots wise, Villa had 14 with 10 on target. Everton had 6 and 3 on target. So just straight away, you know, outshot. Villa had 26 touches in the box compared to Everton's 9. Courtney, of course, you know, we sing her praises all the time.
Really good saves.
9 huge saves for her compared to Sabs's 2. So yeah, ultimately, you know, complete against the run of play. Got that equaliser, but honestly, like, fair play for those last 20 minutes.
On the weekend at the game, Julie was giving us running updates on the shots and the shots on target, like, as the game went through.
I love it she does that. Yeah, because it was yeah, right. We're gonna go over to it. Tracy, how was the match for you? We love an away trip to Walton Hall Park, don't we?
Yeah, it was great apart from the last 20 minutes.
Okay, but until that, what did you like? What were your highlights?
Well, it started off on a positive because it wasn't raining, because the last couple of times that we'd been to Walton Hall Park, it was pouring down with rain. Remember the last time, Emily? We were absolutely freezing. It was freezing cold rain.
It was supposed to still be summer, but
yeah.
I had shorts.
Chloe, I have to say, you know, I'm sure your fans are lovely, but some of them aren't very welcoming, because the last time we came down, somebody was told, I wasn't, because I went straight up to stand where we normally signed, but a couple of people were told that they couldn't sit in the seats, that the seats were for their fans and not ours, even though, like, the seat number was printed on the ticket. Anyway, we didn't need the seats this time, thankfully, because there was no rain. Yeah, started out really well. Like you've said, the stats proved that, you know, we had plenty of opportunities. It was just the typical Villa women thing, that we just weren't clinical enough. We didn't turn those opportunities. I can't speak today. Those opportunities into goals, because we should have had a couple more goals at least, and we should have come away with the win. We knew, didn't we, Emily? I was stood next to you, and I was like, it's going in. They're going to score. Any minute now, they're going to score. I know we're not going to win this. Next thing, ball goes in the back of the net, and what a cracking goal it was! It was a brilliant goal.
Oh
yeah. You couldn't deny that. But just so disappointing. Like, you know, we've been on a brilliant run with our Sean, and, you know, won the last 3 games. I know, don't get me started. I'm so upset.
I
am upset. I really think he deserved to stay at least till the end of the season. But that's another story, and I'm sure we're going to come on to that. But yeah, it was a really good game. Really enjoyed it. Everton really, really tested us in the second half, and yeah, they managed to get that goal and get the 1 point. So well done to them.
It was definitely one where you felt like you needed that extra goal cushion. We needed to have put a chance away in the first half, because all of the momentum was with us first half.
Yeah, definitely. We were brilliant, but again, just not clinical enough, and not getting those goals in the back of the net when we had the opportunity to do so.
There's always a sense with us that, like, if it's 1-0, the longer the game goes on, there's always a sense of dread, but it's warranted because it always happens.
Exactly.
It'd be really interesting to see how many goals we actually concede in the last 20 minutes of games.
I think there's that thing about losing points from winning positions, and we're very near the top of that. Yeah,
I'm sure we were first because I'm sure Sky Sports kept throwing that one out, Villa at the top and throwing their points away. It's all right, calm down. We know. You sat through it enough times. Trust us, we know. Emily, I'm just going to come to you because I
have no notes, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
You have got notes, or you haven't?
I have no notes.
No notes.
No notes.
Okay, you're at the match, so
it was.
I never have notes. Don't worry about it, Emily. Just wing it like I do.
I've only got notes because I don't trust my brain at the moment. Now, our formation and our lineup, again, not really that much change. We saw Rich, of course, coming a bit deeper because Kenza. But first league start for Jill as well. You think she's definitely in that starting position now, Jill? Yeah, happy that?
I do. I think I thought she played quite well in the cup game. I appreciate it was a cup game against the 4th tier side, and it was shaking off rust. And at the start, when she came on, she was giving away. Touch was heavy and was giving away possession a bit. But I thought she grew into that game, and then this game, I thought she played really well. I think it combined with Everton also making their subs, but obviously there was a notable difference towards the end of the game compared to the start of the game. And I was really impressed with her.
And she's doing incredibly well. I'll remember that question for after because I'll link better later. Chloe, I have just noticed as well that our friend of the pod, T-Pain, and Heather Payne, they're both 9 and 19. So they're both Payne. And then who made that rule up? What's going on there? How? Just see a flash of 9. Are you like, what?
I wish I knew because it can be slightly confusing, particularly when you're watching on a dodgy but not dodgy YouTube stream where you just see the 9 and you're like, okay, that's Heather. No, it's not. It's Tony. No, that is actually Heather. Wait, I don't actually know who it is. And
wait, they're both up front of the pitch.
It's like H Pain and T Pain, and I'm just like, right, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. All I can literally see is because on the streams you can't see the H of a T, you just see Pain, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. They're so far out. You're like that watching it. I'm like, who?
Right in the match report, one of the Pains.
Speaking of YouTube streams, when we were at the match, we were like, oh, there's a throw-in right in front of us. Wave will be on the TV. And then afterwards, obviously, we watched the match back and we were like, wait, no, there's no zooming. We weren't on anything.
I'm sure at one point there was a throw-in and the camera person was expecting someone else to take it, so completely missed the throw-in. Because he was focused on someone else and then someone out of the shot actually took the throw-in.
There was the best throw-in of the day has to go to the steward. That one of the balls just got cleared miles away. The game carried on with another ball, and the steward attempted to throw it back to one of the ball girls, and just you could see it just in the far background of the stream, and it loops up and then it just goes nowhere.
It's so intimate, Walton Hall. There's no way you can not be on camera. When me and Freya went to the Arsenal game, you could just see us the entire time just stood there because there's literally nowhere to hide. Whether you zoomed in, zoomed out, or you could just see us just stood there watching. You can't hide.
It's we're doing that. Oh, would you? Right? Yeah, good.
It's us.
Yeah. Again, but on the stream, because Emily, I was trying to look out for you because so Tracy, I always look out for the fan club flag and then kind of try to go forward. And I was like, I know Emily usually wears a scarf, right? Who's got a scarf on?
I forgot my scarf. It was in the car.
Yeah, so I thought for about 20 minutes someone else was you. So I was like, oh, that's Emily. That's Emily's scarf.
Well, they made us take the flag down because we had it over the barrier at the front, and it was actually. It was in between two adverts. It was in between, but it was bottling out. Yeah, exactly. But they made us take it down, and so we had to put it on the netting behind us, the fence behind us. But they've had all new flags put up there, so we were like kind of tucked in the corner, like behind the, I don't know, the coffee stand or whatever it was. So it wasn't very visible.
I saw it. It's all good. I was like, yep, I know those people down there. I know. Now, I was going to ask about, hey, I can't remember my question. So essentially, first half then, because wasn't it? It was a game of two halves. Villa should have put the game to bed very early on. Now, Nick reminded me in the chat there. So, Salmon starting as a winger over Hansen, though. And very delicately calls it a brain fart. What do we think about that? Sophie, have you got any thoughts about that choice?
I don't know what's going on with Hansen at the minute. Like, not as in, I don't think it's an issue with Hansen, but for some reason she's just not being started and not being played. And even if she is being played, she's being pulled off at 60 minutes, which I know we've got an overabundance of wingers. It seems like we've got more wingers than any other position on the pitch.
I know, and you just think how strong Kirsty is, and as soon as she did come on, again checking my stats, came on again 62nd minute. She came on with Miri because Jill was on a yellow, wasn't she? And of course managing minutes, and you just think she can come on and she can make such a difference, especially when we needed that pace. I've remembered my question. Now, our subs, let's talk about that. And people in the chat get involved as well. Our subs, obviously, Everton were bringing on, like we've talked about all the time, like Kelly Gargot, like that pace. We needed people, again, feel free to agree or disagree. Like we needed Sarah Malin, we needed Maz, we needed our pacey players to be able to keep up and just fresh legs at the back as well. Emily, what do you reckon to that?
I thought it was definitely... We did look tired by the end of the match because we were just constantly being run at down the wings.
Yeah.
Like, I know, obviously, it was... She had the ball when we lost possession to give away the goal, but on looking back, I don't think it was necessarily as big a mistake as people were making it out to be. But before that, Maritz was up there with being my player of the match.
Oh, she had a crack
because of how well she had been defending.
Yes.
On that right-hand side. But because they've had to do all of that, like you said, it definitely felt like we needed fresh legs towards the end.
Just annoying that she got a yellow in the 95th minute of the match.
Also,
Nick in the chat, too little, too late.
Yeah, I did think it was, I don't know. It was all happening right in front of us, so I did think it was interesting that Maritz was the one that got the yellow in the end out of that little battle that was
Talk us through it. Go on, talk us through.
Well, there were several fouls that I think could have been called down there. Obviously, they very rarely go to the attacking player, or, against the attacking player. But then for it to have been Maritz in the end that was called up on one, that was baffling to me. There were quite a few decisions from that referee that were poor,
that were interesting,
in my opinion.
Chloe, I really hope you don't think that I'm being super negative about your fans and your players, because I'm not. Right? I really am not. I'm not. Honestly, I'm not. But some of your players are proper dirty. They played proper dirty on Saturday. They were really and like Emily said, the ref was like, at least one was a red card. I thought, do you know what I mean? They were, quite physical and quite dirty in their play, which was frustrating because they scored and they got what they wanted. But yeah, I'm just saying.
I was going to say, Chloe, I think you agree with all that, to be fair.
To be fair, I've seen it on a couple of occasions where some call it passion, some call it violence. There's a word in between that you can fully.
I love that. Some call it passion, some call it violence.
The sort of passion and aggression. You love it when it's your own player, and you hate it when it's the opposition team.
Yeah,
I think I was watching the Liverpool Brighton.
There is a difference, though.
Sorry,
I'm just going to say, Sophie, there is a difference between being physical and being dirty.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, Sophie, what were you going to say?
I was watching the Liverpool Brighton game on Friday night, was it? and Poppy Pattinson, and I was like, I'd love it if she was on our team, but I hate it when she's on every like I bet all the opposition hates her.
How she gets to the end of every 90, I do not know. She's absolutely on the pitch at all. But again, it's great to watch, isn't it? Now, speaking of Maritz having a fantastic game, it was her cross, of course, wasn't it? That allowed Rachel Daly's wonderful trademark header and made it 1-0 in the 31st minute. And of course, we did our usual goal. Okay, so how much time's left?
I did think on that goal, like at the time, I thought, oh, it's just a bit of a lucky, she's just glanced it and it's managed to go in. Yeah. But then when we watched it back, it was actually she placed that down. That was a nicely taken header.
It was very nice. It was very nice indeed. And again, it had to be a good one to try and get past Brosnan, wasn't it?
I'm sure I saw a stat that was Rachel Daly's only touch inside the box the entire game.
I think I've seen that.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. And hey, what a touch inside the box it was for that one. I'm just laughing at Emma. She heard Gago tell Noelle to chop with the throw-in. So yeah, I mean, you can just imagine like when it's so tense at the end, and Everton just want to try and get another goal back, and we're like, no, you're all right. A few minutes left.
Did you definitely feel like Noelle's a player that people will target though, because she's quite easy to wind up and she will snap and like
she will get a yellow. Yeah.
We saw that when we played Arsenal, didn't we? They nearly got into a bit of a bust up as well.
That Hansen and Maritz.
Hey?
Was that Hansen and Maritz?
No. Recently when we played Arsenal, I can't remember. It was probably Katie McCabe. I can't remember.
Probably.
It
was. I think it was. And then she patted her on the head after. Like, look, ref, we're friends. It's fine.
Did you did you all see watching the stream, like after we'd scored, and then Dree sort of had carried on the run on the far post, and like her and Brosnan all sort of collided. I'm not sure who collided with who, but they were just ended up in a heap at the far post, and the rest of the team celebrating, and they're just like in a heap. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Jill Spying's yellow card was. What was she? Did she just not hear the whistle? Did she pretend not to hear the whistle?
I wasn't sure what happened.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Sophie, if people missed it, what happened? Because it was a bizarre one, wasn't it? I think
the ref blew for a foul, and then Jill decided to keep on dribbling with the ball into the center of the pitch. So the ref was like, "What are you doing?" Like,
because it's like if it was a genuine kick away, it would look like it. But
yeah,
just genuinely just kept playing.
Yeah, I think we. I remember saying this at the game. Like when the refs get things like that are so easy, they're like black and white. The time wasting things are so easy to pull people up on because it's either you are or you aren't. They must be like relieved that they don't actually have to make a decision because half the time they're like, oh, I don't know. Even the linos are like, oh, who's kicked it out? Oh, I don't know. I'll guess. But with that, they're like, yes, she's time wasting, yellow.
And it's just like, no. Well, in that case, yes. But
to be fair, she didn't complain too much. And I think if she'd have been like, I didn't realise you'd blown the whistle, I think she'd have complained a bit more.
She might have. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, because Emma said there, the one's interesting because she thought they just took it really quickly. And then that was the end of that. Who knows? Who knows indeed, especially with the ref in. So the ref overall then, because again, we've kind of said it throughout our time in women's football, that it could be better. And yeah.
There was one where it went in our favour. So we were all like, yes, best ref ever. But it was so blatantly a goal kick. And she gave it as I think Dree took a shot or from the top of the box and it deflected off Gabby's back. And the ref gave it as a corner, and we were like, okay then, thanks.
All right, yeah, we'll have that. Yeah, because it comes to something because across the weekend, I don't know if anyone's seen the clip from the championship, but it was the Charlton-Durham match. Don't know if anyone saw it. But Charlton's defender just decides to be goalie and dives for the ball in front of goal, and it comes off her hand and deflects it.
She fully put her hand up to like...
Fully put her hand as if she's the goalkeeper.
To catch it. Like,
I mean, fantastic goalkeeping. Like, if she ever wants to change her career, like, go for it. But wasn't given. Ref didn't see it. So she didn't. So they got away with it. And I think Charlton got the win on that one. But yeah, it just shows you, doesn't it? Like, we need more camera angles. We need, again, more training, more education. We know that. But sometimes when it's to your detriment, it's like, can you imagine? Because even Mark Skinner said last night he should have had a penalty, and that's why they lost to City in the cup game. Whether he wants to blame that or not, but again, he's blaming the ref. What do we think about Sophie? I'll ask you this one. What do we think about Rich playing that deeper role again?
I hate it.
Same.
Wonderful.
Straight up, I hate it. Sorry, I was very distracted because I was trying to protect the cat's modesty as he ran across the street. He's been a real menace. We've been out all day, so he's like, "Hi, I love you."
Love him. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of Rach playing that number 10 role. It doesn't suit her strengths particularly.
No. How are we going to solve it? Is my big question.
Midfielder.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
well, the issue is if we paid a lot of money for a position we didn't need a player in. Is the long and short of it. Like,
yeah, well, that's the truth, isn't it? We didn't need another forward.
Did we need another number 9? No, we've got at least 3. Well, one's gone out on loan, but like,
yeah, we had more than enough up front. Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
well, that expensive number 9 scored 3 goals last week.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that she's a good player, but I mean, it's the case of trying to get them both on the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
let's work it. Yeah.
If we didn't have Rachel,
I mean, Rachel's quite versatile, isn't she? Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, Rich. Yeah, she is versatile, and I think that's probably one of her issues. If she wasn't so good everywhere, they wouldn't put her everywhere.
Having that many options. What are you doing? Having that many options in that position is also like contributing to Ebony playing further out wide.
Yes.
And it's like trying to like solve problems that aren't problems. We don't need to fix a problem in the left wing position because we've got Kirsty Hansen, but we're trying to like play Tetris, and we don't need to play Tetris.
No, it should just be nice and straightforward. Everyone plays in the position that they are. But yeah, as Gary rightly says, she's not a 10, but we'll play it anywhere she just wants.
We have like on our squad on paper, like out and out midfielders, we now have 3 basically because Lucy Stan's injured again.
Of course.
That's just wait. Do we even have 3 now? Ken's gone.
We've got Missy Bow.
Oh yeah, Jordan. Well, yeah, because she's injured.
Yeah. Let's have a look, shall we? So we've got
just uninjured at the moment. We've got Jordan, Jill, and Miri.
Wow.
And Missy Bow.
Yeah, but she was injured, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she's injured. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so available 3. Hey, Chloe, have you got any money left over?
We've got some plays if you want any.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, if you just send them over, we'll give you the address of the training ground.
Also, just on what Trace was saying, I don't think that Gabby Nunes is a bad player. I just think that like we didn't need a number 9 at the time.
Yeah, they don't need to be playing at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the issue. You've got 2 number 9s that probably want to both be starting every game.
Yeah. And it's that management. And again, now I've got a new manager in. Let's see what she does, how she solves it. Especially if she's used to playing, very quick Spanish football. What formation she chooses and the players to then suit that. But let's take a minute for our Kenza, shall we? Because of course she released a statement. Tracy, it's okay. She released a statement on her social media saying essentially, she's had a really rough time of it. And, this is the time for something new. It's time for a change. And we've had complete radio silence from the club on it, haven't we? So, Tracy, everyone watching this will be a Villa fan, but how are we going to miss Kenza? How much of a incredible player was she for us?
Amazing, really, really good. I mean, we all remember the Kenza Daily days, that link up, that phenomenal duo that used to set up those goals and get those goals. You all know I love Kenza. I think she's amazing. She's my favourite player. I think she's got an amazing personality as well. I think she was good for the team, good for team morale. She's obviously been through a lot, and that's affected her quite a bit. I don't know what's been going on behind the scenes. All you can do is wish her the best. I'm gutted. I know a lot of people are gutted. I think she's going to be a massive loss to the team personally. But just want the best for her, really. Whatever's best for her is the right thing.
Yeah. We were saying on Saturday at the game, like that's what it felt like we were missing, was that creative attacking option.
Yes,
sat at the top of the midfield, because we've got Jordan doing it, but she's playing deeper than she ever used to.
Yeah,
which is fine, but then we're already that much further back. And like Kenza used to be that she was our creative outlet, midfield magician. Yeah.
And what was even more gutting was the fact that on Saturday Kenza was in the crowd in Civis, and I missed her. I missed her by about 2 minutes.
no.
Yeah. The fact that I probably would have jumped on her and says, "What you doing? What you doing? Where you going? What are you doing?" It's probably a good thing that I didn't see her. But yeah,
tell us everything.
Yeah, she was there in Civis and walking around. So. And then the announcement came out. Was it the day after or the couple of days later?
Yeah.
I don't know why she wasn't with the team, why she wasn't sitting over the other side, why she was walking around with the fans. So there's another question to be answered.
Yeah, she made the choice to step away at that point.
It's all very strange. Yeah.
And it's gutting, and especially since it is so all over social media, you'd think the club would have said something. I think that's the strange thing, because even if I know Lindsay was saying, well, maybe the end of our contract, maybe they're waiting for, but wasn't our contract like up in the summer?
Yeah.
So
but even if you did have a thing planned, like if there's a move happening, which presumably there is, even if you had it planned to be announced, I don't know, next week or whatever.
Yeah.
If the cat's already out the bag, like address it. Yeah. It's just weird.
Instead of leaving us in limbo, essentially, aren't we? And yeah, that's what Gary's saying as well. I'm good about Kenza, huge loss. She's a player we need to be looking at long-term to get long-term replacement in. I can't believe the club haven't released a statement. It's in poor form. Danny, on the other hand, interesting point. Maybe the club is trying to convince her to stay, so doesn't want to release anything. Hey, but our friend Donna, Soccer Donna, said she's rumoured with San Diego Wave, haven't they?
I think there's been quite a lot of links with her to San Diego Wave at this point. And I won't be surprised if she...
Have they said anything on socials?
No, the Wave haven't released anything.
They're making loads of moves, aren't they?
Yeah. The NWSL...
Sorry, Sophie, what were you going to say? You wouldn't be surprised if...
I can't remember what I was going to say.
I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I lost my thought.
Thoughts, Percy. Yeah, I think we were just saying, wouldn't be surprised if she ended up there in America.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Thank you, Freya.
Yeah, because we all said kind of her lifestyle really fits in with the San Diego lifestyle as well, doesn't it? So it just kind of, especially for a new break, a new start, new chapter, it seems like it's going to be the best place.
Just remember where you got from first.
Where's that then?
Oh, and I was I had the exact same reaction as Tracy did when she left Everton to join Villa. I was like, no.
She's amazing, isn't she?
Yeah,
Kira?
she's incredible.
Double heartbreak on the pod. That's what this is. But yeah, Kenza, we wish you all the best of luck. And we'll be there. Definitely. We'll be there supporting, won't we? Keep our Darley shirts and hope to see some more magic on the field soon.
I never managed to get a Darley shirt. I might have to go for a French one.
Yeah. Oh, good shout. Yeah, go for a French one. Yeah, absolutely. And as Nick rightly says, sunshine and trainers. It's exactly what she needs right now. Perfection. That's it.
And sometimes if you're not in a great like mental place in an environment, sometimes you need to change your environment.
Yeah, exactly. To kind of bring you back to, you know, why you're playing, the love for the game, that kind of thing. And who knows? But yeah, if this is the fresh start she needs, then we're all for it. Some of course saying, was it a DePau move? Because we got all a bit worried, didn't we, about certain players that weren't getting playing time. Would this be the window? Sorry, Sophie, what were you going to say?
No, I just was going to say, if we have, I'm hoping on the only positive to take from this situation, if there is any positive, is that the club has actually sold her for a fee and not released under mutual consent.
Yes.
Which, who knows, because
that'll be the only silver lining of this, I think.
It'll be a very small, very thin one.
Yeah, teeny tiny Dali silver lining.
It's you mentioned like about changing environment, because I think probably, obviously, she wasn't getting along with how things were going under DePau. But then we saw against West Ham before Christmas. It's just weird because she played so well in that game, scored, and seemed so happy. And even in the interview afterwards, you know, said, "I love this club. I want to be here."
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, makes you wonder if, I guess, the time over Christmas gave her a bit more, you know, you step away slightly and reassess, and then realise that maybe that, you know, obviously just the DePau aspect of it wasn't the only issue.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, time away, just really put things in perspective and see what the real situation is.
Damn Christmas break.
Yeah, darn them getting a break for their bodies and not playing. I know, but yeah, we wish her all the best, of course. Now, last couple of points on the game then. So Sabs had a shot across goal. Dree played her socks off as usual. Some lovely footwork in there. Miri, of course, had a shot, didn't she? But again, it didn't go in. When it finally goes in, I think we should all have like the biggest party in the world. Just like, yes, finally the goals got in.
Champagne, Prosecco. We can't. Champagne's too expensive. Prosecco.
Prosecco, bit of Carver, yeah, bit of Asti. In fact, we'll get a bottle of Asti in. That's what we'll do to celebrate her.
I feel like that might be a Sunderland thing.
What
Asti? What Asti?
Never heard of it before.
Never heard of Asti?
No.
Sophie.
Asti Spumante.
Martini Asti. Sweet sparkling.
Asti Spumante. That's what it's called, Asti Spumante.
Oh, all right.
Just checking that you heard me.
If I say it 3 times, she'll acknowledge us. Yeah, no, Sophie, it's a really sweet, bubbly, like, imagine Prosecco, but nice. That's
okay.
Because Prosecco's really dry, isn't it?
Is dry.
Asti is very sweet. So if you do see it, it's about £8 a bottle. It's very reasonable. Love the stuff, if you can't tell. So yeah, in fact, I'll get the Asti in for you, Sophie. That's what I'll do when Drew scores. I'll get the balls in. Wonder if they do it at the Aston Inn. Make a special request on Matchday. Yeah. Now we've talked about Kelly Gargo, of course, just incredible youngster from FC Nantes, I believe. Very, very impressed there. But yeah, Villa's defence, of course, held right until that very last moment. Let's have a look. We've talked about that because it was the deflection, wasn't it? For Sari, the ball deflected, stopped at her feet, and she went, all right, and managed to convert. La 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 la. We talked about that. Hey, look at us. We've talked about all my points. How good's it? So good. And we've even talked about, hey, that's it. Right. That's all my good bits.
I was just going to say on the match, it amused me. Obviously, they're not going to be like, we drew.
Yeah.
It amused me how they were like 4 games unbeaten. This is what we're taking from when like the feeling you go away from it from. Yeah, but you left the match with we've let that slip feeling.
Yeah.
But isn't it nice that we've got like a streak of something? That's quite nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah,
Before
we
have
needed to
face
get something from
City
that
and
game.
Chelsea.
Say again?
Before we have to face City and Chelsea at home.
Well, we're not thinking about that.
we won't think about that. In fact, I've got a table. Hang on, I've got a table. This is that table. Ta-da! Look. Okay, so at the moment, if we have a little look-see, that game, because it's got a point each, Aston Villa and Everton are both on 10 points. 10 points. Villa having the slightly better goal difference, of course, but just ever so slightly. Now, looking, I mean, no one's going to catch Chelsea at this point, are they? I think they said if they beat Arsenal this weekend, then that's kind of done and dusted, or pretty much done and dusted for it. So it's the battle for Champions League and then the battle for relegation. So I think there's two teams that may be safe in the middle there. But yeah, there's nothing in it, is there, at the bottom at all?
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because obviously Brighton losing, like if we'd won that game, the gap's just widening. It's just getting a little bit wider, a little bit wider. And I know it's not. I don't think we're going to go down, but I mean it's the possibility of finishing, 6th or 7th sixth is getting further away each time we drop.
Yeah, it's getting more uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, or just like top half of the table should be where we are, and it's just the gap's getting a little bit bigger each time.
Yeah, and but again, at least we got the point, rather than a loss, which has been done by Villa. So yeah, again, a point but it's keeping us afloat, isn't it? It's keeping us somewhere near where we should be. But yeah, I mean, looking at Crystal Palace and Leicester, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Palace stay up and Leicester go down at this point, because Leicester just don't have any attacking power. They're really, really struggling. So yeah, we shall wait and see. But of course, Chloe, I know we've said about the match at the weekend, West Ham Everton, points wise as well. That's massive for who leapfrogs who, and again those gaps coming up. But yeah, and again goal difference -10, -12. So yeah, I hope if Everton win by 5, you'll be all right.
Oh yeah, that's all we need. Just 5.
But of course, we need to talk about our match at the weekend, which is Aston Villa versus Manchester City. Our favourites.
2-1.
It's going to be 2-1. It's always 2-1, isn't it? But yeah, Emily, how are you feeling ahead of this one? Oh no, Sophie, you go. Yep, go.
Man City's defense is looking pretty shaky right now. Like if there was ever a time to face Man City,
it's now.
It's now. I know they did win against Man United in the midweek fixture, but we'll ignore that.
Because Kiara Keating had to go off as well. Was she injured?
Yeah.
It was a bit of a clash.
I think she was an injury.
Yeah. So again, she wasn't on her best form, but if she's injured, she probably won't be playing. But yeah, it's without Alex Greenwood, I think, if we've got a chance of any, this is this.
We do seem to play well against City, don't we?
Yeah. We like playing City.
Which is quite nice. And of course, last time we played them at Villa Park, it was the end of the season and we stopped them from winning the league.
I can't remember, and I was too confused with the 4 screens yesterday to see what was going on. Did Carolyn come on yesterday for Man City or not? Because she was on the bench.
Well, the graphics, I haven't actually watched the games from yesterday because I had football training, but the graphic showed that Ruby Mace and Alana Kennedy were on the substitutes bench for Man City, which, given that Ruby Mace hasn't been in Man City since I think the summer, it's pretty bad.
It's not good. No, she did not come on. The only subs they had
for the debut at Villa Park, then, will she?
Yeah. Start line up, get her in front. Oh dear. Yeah. They only brought on Road, Park, and Yamashita in the 86 minute. So yeah, yet to make a debut. So that'll be fun.
Maybe
I suppose as well for us, we've not played midweek, and Man City have, and their squad is pretty thin right now.
Yeah, they are a bit.
So their players are going to be leggy.
Positive, isn't it, guys? Let's do it. Tracy, how are you feeling ahead of the weekend?
A bit better now. Having listened to you guys. Yeah, just seriously a bit better now. Yeah, just hoping for the best, really. That's all you can do, isn't it? Hope for the best.
Turn up.
So yeah, exactly. Like, they're not an easy team, but yeah, we've beat them
if
before.
we get a draw this
We can
weekend,
do it again.
that'll be a good draw. That'll be we've come away feeling positive draw.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very,
Well, that is true. Emma, thanks for reminding us that our bench is also looking pretty light.
Oh, wait, no, that's not what I wanted.
Natalia isn't in charge until the Chelsea game, is she?
That's how the thing read, yeah.
That's how it read. So, hey, I mean, Gary's predicting 2-1. And maybe to break her duct.
Her duck, I think he means.
Ah, yes. I was like,
I wanted to break it.
want to keep her healthy, thank you. Yes. In fact, Miri to get a hat trick. That's what we can.
Although she doesn't tend to start, so that's going to be a very nervy game. If we're
we're relying on
20 minutes.
She comes on in the 85th minute. Yeah. We're like, come on, Miri, come on, chop. Get those goals in. But yeah, it's going to be an incredibly exciting weekend.
The other thing about us having such a small bench again is it's so easy to predict who we're going to start. Like, it's going to be 99% the same starting lineup as it was
against Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Unless you swap Hanson and Chastity in for Dre and
or maybe
Salmon,
Sarah for Noel.
Yeah.
But like there aren't any other. It's not a case of who's going to play in midfield this week.
We play our 3 that we have. Maybe even 2, keep 1 on the bench. But yeah, it's
good.
I think
she
was out with concussion over Christmas, but I think she was back in the squad.
Was she on the bench?
I definitely saw her at the end of the match.
Yeah, she was on the bench
at the end of the match.
Yeah, so hopefully Kate Robinson back. See Parker, of course, getting minutes back as well.
Yeah, nice to see her back on the pitch.
Came on the 95th minute.
That could be another option, maybe, because she has played and I think does like playing at central defensive midfield. So you could play Jordan higher up and play Lucy ahead of Patsy and Dan.
That would be nice. I think we need Jordan a bit higher, don't we? For that creativity. If we don't have Kenza anymore, then Jordan could be a magician, right?
Yeah,
we can. Give her Emma Watson.
She'll be closer for her. Hopefully, we'll see some more long range efforts from her.
Yes, I mean, we predicted Jordan Um's cracker last weekend, and I mean, she had one that was nearly that could have been if she'd got the angle right. But yeah, still waiting for that corker to come in. Lovely. Were there any other bits and pieces from the match that anyone wanted to discuss? Before we go on to transfer?
Hey,
no,
don't think so.
Good. Lovely. Chloe, we loved having you. Please feel free to stay, but we're just going to talk about transfers and new manager. So if you want to pop off, feel free. If you want to stay, feel free. It's completely up to you.
I mean, I'll say I'm having a great time.
Great. We'll keep you. Wonderful. Didn't want you to feel like you were held hostage while we were talking.
No.
Good. Okay. Latest transfer news then. So we brought to you last week that Annalete has mutually consented with the club to move back home. Or near enough to be with family. Kenza Dali, of course, we mentioned earlier, she's confirmed that she will be leaving the club, but we're yet to have that officially confirmed. There's the rumour that Caitlin Talbot's going to come in on loan for the rest of the season. We haven't talked about that yet, have we?
No, don't think so.
I think so. Sophie, what do you reckon to that one, getting a goalie in on loan?
I think it's probably a good idea to have 3. We had that last year when Daphne was injured, then Annalise got the red card, and then we had just Sophia Paul, and it was a very nervy. And then Sophia Paul looked like she might be nursing an injury, and it was a very nervy time. I think there was a point when we thought we might have to put Rachel Daly in the goal or Rachel Corsie. Not sure which of the two.
Yeah, Corsie was having a chat with Carla, wasn't she? We were just like, oh no. This is going to be the end.
So I think having an extra goalie is worthwhile.
Yeah, 100%. Because with Talbot as well, I was looking, she did really well. She was at Benfica. Was it Benfica? Have I just completely made that up? That sounds right. Hang on.
I feel like I've read that. Yeah.
I need to check my sources. Hang on. Because I remember going, actually, yes, she's been at Spurs for a while, on the bench, but actually, yes, Benfica, also making it up. 15 appearances for Benfica in the 22-23 season. And unfortunately, has just been on loan, really, since then. She went to West Ham, but then she was loaned out to, is that the Swedish league? It looks very Swedish. Yes, Swedish league. Yeah. And then gone Spurs on loan. And yeah, I hope if we do get her in, then we do rotate more, because she's 6 foot. She is 6 foot tall. Get her in goal.
Amazing.
I do think. I mean, she played for half of the match against Bristol, but I would love to see Sophia Paul get more game time.
Yes, if it's a proper rotation between the three, I'd really like that.
Because I think otherwise we'll end up doing what we always do, and I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute, is if you bring in another player that immediately leapfrogs her to being like the backup keeper, we're just going to, she needs playing time. I know she's still really young. She's not like 21 or whatever, but she needs game time.
Good keeper.
And she's good. She's proved herself, hasn't she? She just needs time and proper game.
Sophia Paul, is she playing in the under-21 academy?
I'm not sure if she does play for them sometimes, yeah. Because we've got obviously Sophia Kelly as well.
Yeah.
Who was in the Matchday squad once. Yeah.
So because she's young enough to be in the under-21 squad still, I'm sort of less worried about her getting game time with the senior team. If she's getting game time with the under-21 academy.
Mm. Yeah, it's that isn't it?
Stuck in limbo land between the two.
Yeah.
Oh, limbo land. We know it well.
It's a bit like I know it's not our club, but Kiara Keating going to play it for the under-23s and actually being the starting keeper for the under-23s rather than going into the England seniors and being a bench warmer in the England in the seniors.
Yeah, it's that consistency, isn't it? To get that. So that's an option. Again, it's a rumor. We haven't heard anything more about that, but we'll let you know when we do. Freya Gregory, of course, officially has gone to Newcastle. Why has she gone to the Mags? No, we don't.
I have notes on that one.
Wonderful. Take it away, Sophie. Go on then. Tell us why it's a monstrosity of a decision. Go on.
Other than that, you're a Sunderland fan and Newcastle is thing, whereas my family is Newcastle, so
I'll stay quiet and let you have your point.
So her departure is less of an immediate loss to the team than Kenz's departure. Simply, she was out on loan at Southampton. I don't know why she's gone to Newcastle and not Southampton when she seemed happy at Southampton. I've got to assume there's money involved in that choice, whether from her or from the club.
I assume Newcastle have thrown money at her to say, come here. As everyone else.
And have thrown money at Villa and gone, please let us buy her. We will pay you a nice amount for her. Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, we just seem to have a pattern going on. Young talent have one of two pathways at Villa. They get into the starting 11 and they're playing the WSL, and then they immediately get snatched up by a big four.
Yeah.
Or they go on loan to the Championship and they never make it out of the Championship.
And I never heard from again.
League. Because whilst the Rangers and Celtic are busy throwing money at their women's team, the league as a whole is probably more similar to the Championship, realistically, in standard, than the WSL.
Yeah, in the grand scheme thing.
I'm not as concerned about some of our youngsters that have ended up like playing in tier 3. Like at the end of the day, not every young player
everyone's going to make it
through our pathway is going to make it into the WSL. It's just
why we need to play pool. Yep.
More annoying that as soon as we play talented youngsters, they end up somewhere else.
Yeah. And you just hope that's a kick from the club as well to be like, yes, these clubs can come in with the money to buy them, which the money we know can be great. But the club at some point need to make a stand and go, no, we're holding on.
We're going to invest in them. Yeah.
We're going to invest in them. Exactly. We're going to develop the talent because we don't want to get back to that place where ultimately we're developing talent for other people and then we're suffering because they're then playing against us. So it's because
I mean, like you look Freya Gregory, like she's been solidly in with the England under 23s, and at some point I think is going to make the step up to the senior team or deserves to. And you just like, it's just baffling. It's just baffling.
Because Serena doesn't really look at Championship, does she? Very rarely. So she needs WSL minutes if she's going to make that step up, which she more than rightly deserves enough time. Because Chloe, Everton went through a phase, didn't they, of developing young talent and letting go. So what do you think Everton are like at the moment for their youngsters coming through? Because there's a couple coming through, isn't there? Izzy, what's her last name?
Izzy Hobson.
Izzy Hobson. Yeah, there is. Like we've also developed loads of youth as well. Like we've had both Jess Park and Aggie Beaver-Jones come to us on loan, and Catherine Cool, who we know has gone to Roma now, who have played for us on loan and now look at them, like they're so much better off for it. And we've got like Eleanor Dale and Izzy Hobson, who we've just sent out on loan. Like I'm a big believer, and I've said this before, but I'm a big believer that going on loan does wonders for a player. Like it helps build them, it gets them regular minutes, it shows them like who they are, what they can become, and everything like that. And I think Everton do have a really good system because we've also got other youth academies, and we're one of the first to have that like kind of youth academy and growing the new talent. Like Meg Finnegan, for example, she's been at Everton since she was 9 because she came up through that academy situation, and now she's incredible. And I'm very, very excited to see what both Izzy and Eleanor can do and how they shine at their respective clubs, and what they can come back and do.
Because Eleanor Dale at Sunderland is just absolutely smashing it. The 7-1 win over Exeter in the Cup, she got 4, I believe. And you just think, like having that opportunity, like with Everton, with the best will in the world, she wasn't going to get that opportunity much, was she? Because she played like here and there, but it wasn't consistent. But to be a starter and to be, I think she's joint top goal scorer in the league, I think now-ish, or she's definitely like up there at the top. You're just saying, to get that confidence in and to then hopefully come back. I mean, I hope Sunderland keeper, not gonna lie, but but such a good, brilliant young talent that's affording that opportunity.
And take Izzy Hobson for example. When last season she scored that goal to draw with Arsenal.
Yeah, she did.
Whoever thought that would happen for an Everton side to draw with Arsenal?
And the roar when that went in was insane.
Incredible. It was like she's amazing, and I also think going on loan will do her incredibly.
Yeah.
Like I think she's just gonna absolutely shine on loan, and hopefully she'll come back. I'm praying that they both come back.
Hope so. Well, speaking of loans, we had another one announced today, didn't we? Georgia Mullet has coincidentally gone to Southampton on loan. And again, I mean, she's with Remy Allen. Like, they seem like a really good club for young talent to come through. But again, it's another youngster that wasn't given game time, needs game time, of course, if she still wants to progress up. And you just think, I hope when she comes back, we keep her. Because, yeah, I'm sick of letting the youth go, especially when they've got potential as well. And it's just so heartbreaking to watch all these announcements coming through and going, probably not gonna see you again, right? Okay. See you later. Tracy, what's your opinion on all of this, and what can the club do better, do you think?
After what you've said, everything that you've said makes total sense about the fact that you've got to look out for the kids, and if they're not getting any game time, then wherever they can go and is beneficial to them is the right thing to do. But obviously, like you've said, we want the youth, don't we? We've got, not being funny, but we've got how can I put this politely? Think of it. We've got quite an aging team.
Yeah.
We have the oldest average team in the league.
Yeah, you were first.
Yeah. The oldest median team in the league too.
Yeah. So we've just got to be careful about what we're doing and who we are putting out there and on loan or getting rid of that are quite young, because like you've said, we've got rid of a few kids that we could have done with holding on to. Just giving them a little bit more game time and getting them to grow and develop with us. But yeah, we've just got to be really careful. So it's great for them if it's the right thing for them, and they are going to get game time, and they're not going to just be sat on a bench like they are here anyway. Then that's great. Great for them. That's what you want. The best thing for them. But yeah, we've just got to be really careful because we are aging.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. And as Gary quite rightly says in some cases, are we not the Arsenal retirement home?
No.
No, Gary. Half of the squad's made up of Arsenal players, but that's fine. But how would we recognise them if they weren't Arsenal players?
Yeah.
How would we recognise them?
We've got...
another thing as well,
go.
To interrupt Emily, another thing as well is the fact that a lot of our older players are out of contract in the summer is another worrying thing to think about in this situation. The fact that we're getting rid of all the youth. We've got a load of older players that their contracts are up in the summer.
Yep.
It's scary times.
And that's quite nicely, Tracy. Thank you. What I was going to segue on to next. Destroying my office. Bear with. I try to be clever and put loads of things on top of each other. So of course we've got a new manager now, and for a long time we were saying, look, well, Sean Gorter's only, interim. He's made it clear that he's not really in charge of those conversations. He's not involved in those conversations, which quite frankly was a bit strange because he's in charge. Surely he knows what needs to come in. But of course, as Tracy rightly said, we've got so many contracts up in the summer of people who still do have a couple more seasons in them. Rachel Daly, Jordan Nobbs. Has anyone got the list handy of all 6, 7, however many?
Hang on.
I was going to say, Emily's always got the details.
What's the question? I'm on the tab,
whose contracts are up in the summer? So the big ones.
Sarah Mailing, Maz Kashiko, Rachel Daly, Dan Turner, Jordan Nobbs, Rachel Corsi, Lucy Staniforth, Adriana Leon, Lucy Parker. Oh no, Lucy Parker and Kirsty Hansen are on. They've got a +1 that they could trigger.
So really, including those triggers, we've got 10. 10 players, and pretty much all of those, bar 1 or 2, are our starting 11. And if nothing else, this transfer window, we need a midfielder. But if nothing else, Emily, do you reckon we need to get those contracts done now?
We're going to see something this window, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into the last couple of games of the season like we did last year when we were worrying about and Elite's contract and Lucy Stan's contract.
Hmm.
Like, we cannot go into the summer break with all of those still up in the air.
No.
That's not.
Absolutely not.
That cannot
I
be a thing.
wonder, though, as well, with having, I know we'll get onto the new manager, but having a new manager just coming in, that might delay some players' opinions on a new contract.
Yeah, because they want to see because it was
Like, yeah.
I was going to say on our squad depth, I think we've got 22 people now on our books, senior squad, not including academy players, and 4 of those are out injured currently.
Are we allowed? What are we allowed again?
26, 25 or 26, 25 maybe.
25, 26. Chloe's like, no. Yeah, 25, 26. So we've got. That's the thing. We've got room, haven't we now?
If you give me just a second, I'll tell you how many players we've got. I've got my spreadsheet open because I was looking at how old everyone was.
Sophie, this is why we're looking. This is why we have her on the pod. Spreadsheets.
So 1, 2.
We do love a spreadsheet.
Just give me a second to work out my maths here.
That's all right. We can keep talking. That's okay. But yeah, I'd rather keep the core we've got because it's such a good core. And we know what the team can do. And I think as well, when everyone looked miserable during our last tenure, so worried about people like Dree leaving because obviously the Canadian leagues signing some incredible players now. Like we know Quinn signed. And it's just, you don't want to lose people who've got the talent and just need someone to come in and manage them correctly in that case.
Yeah, so we've got 32 players. No, 22 players. Sorry. That's how many we finished with last
32. 22, yeah.
So that's how many we finished with as well last season.
Yes, looking at my little maths. Yes, 22 we finished with last season as well.
Huh. Interesting.
We need a couple of players in this week.
Yes, because finishes, of course, 31st, doesn't it? Transfer window. Yeah. So yeah, they've got.
Is it the 31st or is it the 30th? I feel like it feels like it should be the 31st.
We had a discussion about this, but I can't remember what the outcome was.
We did.
1 sec.
Yeah, so for you, check for us. Because if it is the 30th, then that is literally 7 days and about 2 hours they've got. That's enough time, right? Bring some people in.
Might already be in the pipeline, so hopefully they are.
Also, you can do the deals. So it closes at 11 p.m. on January the 30th.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, Nick's there as well. That's why we love you, Nick, to keep us right.
But I think you can do deals and ask them, announce them later.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as long as they're done and agreed, isn't it? By that time, then you can announce.
And
them.
I think if players are free agents, you can sign them outside of the window too.
Yeah,
that rings a bell. Yeah, that sounds good. If money and reality, I think I was saying this the other night in the chat. If money and reality weren't limits, which midfielder or who could we sign? If we could do a petition to Villa right now, which players do we want to come in? Emily, I can see you smiling because you want
Vanessa Gill.
We've got to get her in.
I mean, we could take Kadisha Buchanan as well. She can sit on our bench until she's back from her ACL. That is fine by me.
More than welcome. Nick wants Georgia Stanway.
Yeah, we thought reunite Jill Byings and Georgia in the midfield.
Yeah, perfect. Bayern midfield. Danny's put there. Yeah, did we all see this as well? Apparently, we've got the 7th highest revenue in Europe, according to Deloitte.
And it was hardly any of it was Matchday, was it? It was proportionally all commercial stuff.
Yeah, Matchday was well. I mean, you looked at the top. So for those who haven't seen it, it was cat.
Sorry, you just shut everything down.
I was going to say no. You've got spreadsheets. We need you. So this table was. Had Barcelona right at the top, didn't it? Then Arsenal and Chelsea and everyone. And their match day income was just insane. And their total revenue as well.
Was it just European leagues?
I believe so.
I'm not sure.
Because I was
it looked like it. was, because I'm sure the US teams,
US ones
some of them must bring in.
Money. Let's see if I can.
Oh yeah, that was the.
It's the 15 of the highest revenue generating women's clubs in European football.
Yeah.
Nick made a good point. No, that was for last season, wasn't it? Because we sort of mentioned about the Alicia Lehman effect potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could go on, couldn't we? But yeah, in the 23-24 season, 116.6 million euros was generated by the top 15 clubs. So again, in the grand scheme of things, obviously it's just a drop in the ocean of the men's game, isn't it? But the fact that we're getting up there is good.
I wonder if that's what our match day was last year. Imagine what it is this year.
Well, that's the thing, because
it's got to be worse.
Yeah, it says during the I've just had it in England, the Women's Super League and Women's Championship reported a cumulative attendance of over 1 million for the first time during the 23-24 season, whereas a study ranked women's football as the 5th most attended sport in the UK for attendance. So there you go. So we are growing. They've said that increased due to, let's say, Arsenal being at the Emirates more, breaking attendance records. Broadcast deals.
If we go back to
the chat by any chance. It's on a different screen. I can just hear laughing. So no, it's just about £4.50. So it's a strange one, and it's always hard to kind of go, okay, last season. So where are we now? I want stats for now.
We'll see if we go back to which players we'd like to bring in if money and reality wasn't an issue.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, good.
Maybe slightly more realistic than Georgia Stanway, unfortunately, as much as I'd love Georgia Stanway. Maybe Grace Clinton, because she's not. Her and Eltoon cannot play together as a number 10 at United.
No,
it just doesn't work.
No,
I'd rather have Eltoon.
I'd rather have Grace Clinton. Mostly because I also don't think Ella Toon would ever leave United.
No, I don't think she would.
Yeah, Clinton's more likely to leave. But yeah, you're right. And I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think Skinner would let go of Ella Toon either.
Or Grace Clinton, realistically.
But they've only triggered an extension.
Also, Grace Clinton's a few years younger than Ella Toon as well. Just got to bring that average age down somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, Danny quite rightly says in the chat, the Charlton fans sat behind me at the League Cup game. We're desperate to see Lehman come on. I think they left a bit disappointed. It's just awful.
A few months too late.
Last season, whenever I said I watch Villa women, the question from people who don't really watch women's football was always, Alicia Lehman?
No. She's a decent footballer. There's we've always said, she popped up with goals when we needed her to. We couldn't get them anywhere else. But the hype around her, unfortunately, attracted the wrong kind of people that we didn't want in the game. And unfortunately, that's what happened. We got a lot of attention from the wrong people, who were now, breaking the Juventus social media records.
I think we need to start a petition for Grace Clinton.
We should. Should we start it?
Everyone's.
I mean, Emma's making T-shirts already. Clinton's the future. Yeah. Nick's already willing to sell her organs for Grace Clinton. So really, I think we've got some good points here.
I thought I was being a bit rogue with Grace Clinton, but apparently it's the popular choice here. I thought I was going to get
like-minded people with you, Sophie. Chloe, if you could bring anyone into Everton, who would you bring? Because you've got money now, so
we do. I would like to bring in Lucy Bronze.
Oh,
that is always my answer. Is that
McCabe, to be honest? Lucy first.
To be fair,
in terms of commercial value, Villa bringing in Lucy Bronze or Kate McCabe would be a good. They bring the fans with them.
They bring people with them. Tell you who we should sign. Now she's been mutually let go from her club. Russia, Get
I
Risha
actually
back.
thought that. I would love Risha to come back.
I would love Risha. Imagine the dressing room though, like that lift, that, you know, and that's what we said for ages, didn't we? It just looked a bit flat and a bit, you know, no, that. Bring her back. Bring her back in.
I think realistically,
well, I would say Katie. I wouldn't know what happened. I would say Katie McCabe, but I don't think. But if I say Katie, I'd have to say Caitlin as well, because they can't be apart for more than 2 seconds.
That's very true.
Like,
I think always getting in an Aussie is actually a good shout, because the Matildas social media team do a lot of work to promote the WSL sides that they're Aussies, haven't they?
That's true. Who've they got in their midfields?
Emily Van Egmond.
Van Egmond, yeah, she's free now.
I'm sure she's a midfielder, not a defender.
Yeah, she is.
You're not taking Claire Wheeler from us.
Although Van Egmond's not that young, though, is she?
No, she's not.
Have they announced where she's going?
We don't sign anyone under the age of 28, Emily.
Have they announced where she's going? Because she left. Was it the Wave she played for?
Yeah, I don't think they've announced.
She left the Wave, got married, and then they haven't said anywhere else.
I assumed possibly going to Australia.
Back to the A-League.
I have a feeling her partner is either South African but has English connections, or is English with South African connections, and has lived in both England and South Africa growing up.
Ooh, okay. I love that you know that, by the way. I'm just looking at the team. Alex Chudiak would be quite good. Cooney Cross.
Fryer's just gone to Wolfsburg. Maybe her twin will move closer.
Who has, sorry?
Sian Fryer.
Ah, right.
And she's got a twin, and I can't remember the twin's name, which is really bad of me. But they were playing together in Australia.
Ah, right. They've got Daniela Gallic, who was born in 2006, which makes me feel a bit ill. But as a youngster midfielder for the Matildas, not bad. Leah Davidson was born 2001. I can't. I feel so old. However, I mean, I'd love Chloe Lagazo to come, but she's definitely more forward.
It's Lainey Lainey Fryer is Sian Fryer.
Lainey, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you've got a Matilda tax or a Lioness tax, then automatically viewings and money and revenue things go up, don't they?
And like Rachel Daly's been out of the Lionesses for a little bit now, so her Lionesses tax will start going. Her and Jordan will probably start going down in their Lionesses tax.
I did think it was, at the Bristol game the other day. I mean, there were a lot of them were wanting to speak to Jordan and the other players as well. But it was like Rachel was the last one left taking pictures with absolutely everyone. And I was like, Jordan Knobs is over there.
Oh, I love that. But you think like people like who are playing, who are our age and just a bit younger, it's the Rachel Dailies that are still the superstars and the Jordans that are still the superstars. And I think if you are of a certain age coming into it now, you don't really know what they've done for women's football. I was talking last night about Jen Beattie retiring as well. And, people who either just knew her from Arsenal or just knew her from like being on Sky Sports as more pundits and commentary and that kind of thing, they're not going to know kind of that icon of the game either. And you just think, I wish there was more. I don't know. I think if clubs embrace their history a bit more and like any legends and have like proper dedicated places to talk about them. And I suppose, that's what we're doing on the pod, aren't we? We're trying to spread that word and make sure, the history isn't lost and things like that. But
or even like sections on the, on the websites and stuff.
On the website, yeah.
Like,
have a timeline.
Yeah, this season, this is what happened and all of, rather than...
This was the team.
Half the time you can't even click on the current squad and see the right people.
Well, exactly. And I mean, was it last year? What year are we in now? 2025. No, 2023 was 50 years of Aston Villa women. Now, was anything done about that? Was there any celebration? No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Which is pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
really,
it's just an afterthought still, isn't it? But again, that's why we're here.
But there was nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Have a whole heritage
it's 150 years of the club as a whole, this would be a great opportunity to go, oh, and here's some more information about our women's team as a part of the history of the club.
Hey,
but they've got a little write-up, haven't they? Quite clearly states there that Aston Villa Women was formed in 1973. So in 1923, you think they could have done a little bit just to celebrate that? Do you know that? Do you know what I mean? What did I say?
1923.
Oh, sorry. 2023.
They got their quills out again.
They're playing in their flapper dresses.
You have to do something, even if it's just like, you know, a Facebook post.
I feel like
like just one
was the golden age of women's football, right? Like that's when they were selling out. Was it 21 that it got banned, or 23 that it got banned, because it was too popular?
It was banned for 50 years, wasn't it?
They all played it when the men were off it. And
I
know 1921.
I think it's 1921.
21. 20 some math.
Yeah, 1921.
21. Yeah. Yeah, because you're right. There was, the crowds were massive, weren't they? Similar to what we're getting now, Wembley. And yeah, you just think more acknowledgement will be lovely. But hey, everyone watch this space. We've got something special coming up for you in the future, but it is a secret for now. But all shall be revealed when we're ready to share it. But yeah, it's something very exciting, and we can't wait to celebrate the history of our women's team. Now then, I think that's all our transfer news. Has anyone got any other players they'd love to bring in? Tracy, have you got anyone?
No one that I can think of off the top of my head. No. Thought of a load.
Jessie Fleming would be actually quite cool.
Yeah, Fleming.
Not a practical player. We don't even have space for her in the team. I would really like Mia Enderby. But that is because she grew up about 5 minutes from my grandparents' house. So
all the right reasons.
Nothing to do with football. Nothing to do with football at all.
She's a cracking young player as well.
Yeah, no, she is absolutely.
She makes a nice cup of tea.
No, hey, if there was room for it, would have her in a heartbeat, 100%.
But yeah, she wouldn't fit in. We've got enough wingers and forwards, and
yeah, exactly.
We can't work out how to play the ones we've got. We don't need to add more into the mix.
I just need to do a quick who Google thinks the best women's midfielders. Best women's football midfield. It's just going to be Putellas and Bonmati, aren't they?
I wouldn't mind Erin Cuthbert.
Oh, I said the other day.
Patry.
I'd take Jenny Hermoso.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to be playing in Mexico anymore.
No. Bring her back to the WSL.
She could just stand at the top of the box. Ping, ping, ping. Lovely.
Yeah. She doesn't have to run, doesn't have to do anything.
Just have to run.
I would like to say...
Maybe we might get a few more Spanish players in. I would sell organs for Mappy Leon.
What is it about selling organs with you? Let's go on. But yeah, to get.
We don't have anything else of value to sell.
Oh, can we get Engen as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Take both of them. Midfield sorted as well, even though she's more defensive now.
Well, take her. Yeah, we've got room. We've got room on the bench.
Or Kira Walsh.
Kira Walsh. Well, is she going to Arsenal?
We're playing with whatever we want.
That's true. I do just want to ask though, how on earth have London City Lionesses managed to get Kumagai?
Money.
Well, yeah, buddy.
And a lack of ethics and morality.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's a different podcast, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
Maybe they sold some organs.
That's what we were saying the other day about. Yeah. Fantasy.
That's what they've done with Russia. That's why she's disappeared off social media.
That's what happened.
She's in recovery.
Nothing about an NDA or anything. Okay, last thing then, of course, the exciting news to come out of Villa yesterday evening was that we have a new manager. So this is Natalia Arroyo, who is a Spanish international. She was an ex-player, played for Barcelona, and recently in her managerial career has been managing Real Sociedad in Liga F. Now, she was an unknown name to most people. unless you were very heavily involved in Spanish football. And a lot of people just went, who? Instead of doing their research. So we tried, didn't we? We looked on LinkedIn. It was great. Got a whole history. And of course, we had about this much from Villa as well, about who she was and where she's been. But Sophie, you did a bit of inquiry, some friends. And what did they tell you?
Yeah, so I've got a friend who's Catalonian and a massive Barca women's fan. So I sent her a message and was like, well, what do you know about her? Because we know nothing. And she was basically like, well, she was at Barca. She retired in 2009, which was, I'm not going to say how old I was in 2009, but I was quite young in 2009. But yeah, so it was a bit before her. She's the same age as me, so it was a bit before her time. But she was saying that they wanted her to coach at Barcelona and they wanted her to coach at the Spanish women's national team. And she's got a really good rapport with the fans and with the players. Like she's still got a really good rapport with the players because she was doing journalism as well.
Yes.
So she did a lot of player interviews and a lot of coaching stuff. And that she's very outspoken about the welfare of players and like what players deserve, which sounds like it's a good.
Sounds like she's what we need at the minute, isn't it? Yeah, because when we had a little LinkedIn look yesterday,
I also found one of her clips when she was doing some coaching analysis recently. It looked like she was analysing Arsenal Man City in the WSL. So it looked like the analysis was of a WSL game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That she was doing about a different approach. It was very technical. But it was about, she was looking at the rhythms of play rather than the traditional passages of play.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's quite an interesting video. If you go on her Twitter, it's like quite easy to find, and it's got English subtitles, and it's quite interesting.
Ooh, yeah, that's what we like. Because and it's someone who you think she knows her stuff. Like it's not someone who's coming in thinking, I'll have a go at that. It's someone who has been in the game, who has all of this knowledge, and hopefully will then give it.
Maybe that's where I recognised her name from. You mentioned that maybe it was a name that was thrown around when they were wondering who was going to coach the Spanish national team. Maybe that's where I saw her name being bandied around.
Possibly. Maybe. So yeah. Now the thing that surprised me, she signed a 3.5-year deal, which
that's a confident deal.
It's a very confident deal, yeah.
I think they signed Powell on a 3-year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, and we all saw how that went. So hopefully hers goes better than that. In her first interview then, so just some snippets from that, she says, it feels great. I'm super excited. It's an honor to be here. To start working with the team, being in this city and start training, I'm really happy. So, she sounds really, really, really excited. She says what attracted her to the new role was that she wants to help the club build on the foundations that have already been laid. She says it's a historic club. It's a great project, which, yeah, we are, aren't we? We're ever evolving and developing in the best possible sense, of course. It has a good present, but a good vision to a better future. I like that. And I feel confident and I feel great to be a coach that helps the team to grow. And I think that we are in this great point where there are lots of greats in this. There are great things that have already been done, but I can help to make the club take the next step. Yes, that's the main point of this. She wants to help the club take the next step. I feel really great, again, from the conversation. I like the squad, I like the club, and I'm ready to help. So, to be fair, everything, actions speak louder than words, we all know that, but even from, the off, it sounds very, very positive. How are we feeling? Because it felt like they said, it was an intensive, extensive search, but it still does feel quite quick. So yeah, Emily, how do you feel that we have got a new manager?
I am really looking forward to seeing what she can do. I was quite and I think as well, at the moment at least, it says the current coaching staff are staying on, which I think is important for not rocking the boat too much mid-season.
I think she mentioned that in her interview as well, about how she didn't want to make big changes at this point and just wanted to tweak things ever so slightly.
She says, in fact, I can give you a quote. With less time than joining during the summer, you need to adapt and try to change little things so there's not a big revolution or a big change. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad that we've made a decision, that we now have this is who we're backing, this is who we're going with. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do.
I hope so, because Tracy, you really wanted Sean to be given a shot, didn't you?
Yeah, I just think that it would have been. I'm really excited to have Natalia on board and see what she can do and how she can take the team forward. I just think he's done a great job so far. It would have been nice if he could have seen out the rest of the season. He wanted the job. He said it himself.
I wonder how that
I've been told
goes. You carry on, Tracy. Carry on.
Yeah, Emily knows what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I met somebody on Saturday who said, yes, he wants the job. And he said that as well, that he wanted the job in an interview. Yeah. So it would seem to me that a lot of things are kept secret within the club. I mean, I don't know, but it would seem that a lot of things, whether he knew that there was, this was
search going
on the horizon. Yeah, exactly. Or, how close it was on the horizon or whatever. It's very interesting to know whether that was the case.
It was only Friday. He was saying that, wasn't it, in the press conference?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do. She sounds like she's got great credentials. If she's anything like Unai Emery, I'm all for that. I was
going to say, there's now a sort of Spanish connection across the whole club.
Yeah. I'm all for that. I'm sure that Paula Thomas is going to be super excited because she's got someone to talk to. Apart from Gabby. I think it's great. I just really do feel for Sean, and I hope he does stay on. As part of the coaching team, that they can work together and it all works out. But I am gutted for him, to be quite honest. And we didn't lose under him. So, I mean, obviously we've got Man City and Chelsea coming up, and the chances of it continuing to be a no-loss run, but are very slim. But yeah.
I wonder.
You got to back your manager, haven't you? Whoever your manager is, you back them all the way until the very, very end.
Until they prove you otherwise. 100%.
I wonder if she was someone that they had previously spoken to in the summer, and then it just because she hasn't. She left Real Sociedad at the end of last season, wasn't it? She hasn't been with them. She wasn't currently with them. So
no.
That's a really interesting question, Emily. I haven't thought of that, but that's a real possibility.
For one reason or another, it didn't work out, or they just preferred DePau at that point, and then they
realised what they really needed.
I'm quite.
Go on, Sophie.
I'm hoping that Sean Goat stays on, and I'm hoping he does like he did at City, where he's like a specific forwards coach, because I think
yes, please
having specific coaches for specific positions is excellent to have. Sort of, I'd rather have more coaches that can focus on
specific, technical, tactical, like everyone. Bring them all in.
We need a finishing coach. That's what we need. A finishing in the box coach. That's what we need.
Was at Man City.
I did like what he said about when he got asked about Ebony in the press conference the other day about the bits of her game she needs to work on, because that's what we've all been saying all the time. So it's like you said, if he could now just sort of focus back on them.
That'd be good. Because she does say, interesting in her interview, I needed a big league and a competitive league, and England is the best one. I've been watching almost every game since the summer to get as much information as possible, so I don't feel like a stranger. which is great, but maybe there was something, behind the scenes, like you said, because you wouldn't watch all of the games of a random team in the WSL if you didn't have a stake in the race, as it were. So yeah, she says, we know we need points and to be better in the table, and that's exactly what she's here for.
She also made some nice, interesting comments about making the home stadium a fortress and getting the right atmosphere at home.
Yeah, and that's what we need, because that's what I've always said, isn't it? Villa Park, just at the minute, there's clumps, there's groups of us, but as a whole, because we're only on one side, it just doesn't feel right yet, does it? It's getting there. It just doesn't feel right. I was saying to my friend who's an Arsenal fan, I still really like the way the Emirates do it, where they sell out all the lower tier first, then they go higher. So you've actually got that atmosphere all the way around. Because you think for the players as well, if they're, scoring and celebrating, they're only getting it from one side of the pitch, which might be a bit...
I like that idea.
Yeah, if we only opened like half of a block's depth the whole way around.
Yeah.
I suppose it's like
try it.
Thinking about it though, what is the capacity of Villa Park? Is it like 40,000 something? Yeah. 40 something thousand. Like we're averaging on around what?
2.5.
1,200.
Yeah, 42,640.
Yeah. So what have we averaged this season? Attendance at Villa Park? Just over 1,000. Maybe. So how many rows would that be around?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably about 3.
I suppose then it goes back to the whole point of then you've got to open up all the stands and all the concessions and all the things in all of the...
Exactly, yeah. And that's the reason why they started to open up the whole 10, didn't they? And then because it didn't, they closed it down because there wasn't enough ticket sales.
And then they put the Arsenal fans in there. Why? What are you doing? Don't do that.
That's my big bugbear in general.
The whole 10 as well. Come on.
It's as if they don't know the club at all.
And also, just in general, at our home games, it's like the teams warm up the wrong ends. We always have the home team warming up in front of where they sit the away fans for women's games. Because for the men's game, it's the complete opposite corner of the stadium where the away fans sit. Just makes no sense.
No, it's like warm up in front of us. We will cheer, we will sing, we will, so that's why that's a good thing about Walton Hall Park, I will have to say.
Yeah.
Right there.
You can just go away
In fact, you can talk to them while they're warming up.
Ridiculously intimate. You're doing great.
That's great. So Arroyo then, she was a journalist for 9 years. After she retired, then she did a bit more media-wise. Then she worked for the Catalan Federation of Football, where she worked with the under-16s, under-18s, under-17s, the seniors and the women's team for 3 years. She was there. And then has been manager at Real Sociedad for 4 years. So, all in all, if you've got anyone who's got the experience, she definitely does.
I've thought of someone else we could get in on loan now.
What? Who?
Attacking midfielder, Vicky Lopez.
Yes.
Ooh.
Bring her in.
I like it.
Yes. Bring her.
She's very good.
Yeah, I quite like that. So, in fact, if anyone from Barcelona's watching and they'd like to lend us Vicky Lopez for the rest of the season, that'd be great. Thank you very much. We'll keep her. Sure, we're a thing or two in the WSL. Learn a few skills. But yeah, no, I'm excited. She sounds really positive. I mean, I know I've said that before, but she's got the experience to kind of back up what she wants to do. So yeah, fingers crossed, watch this space. Now, so like we said, we've got Man City at the weekend, at home at Villa Park. Last thing I want from you then, I'd like some score predictions. Chloe, do you think Villa can do something?
To be fair, I think you can. It's like I watched the City United game on Sunday and City just looked appalling. Like, they were here, there, and absolutely everywhere. And yeah, I think you can get some out of it. I think I'm gonna stick with the crowd and go a 2-1 to Villa.
That's why we like you, Chloe. That's why I brought you on. Sophie, score prediction, please.
I was gonna go for a 2-2 draw. I feel like.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel like
Great minds.
Viv Miedema's looking in pretty good form right now.
Shh.
I mean, she looked fuming at the weekend. She was like, right, if no one else is going to score, let me at it.
She's such a character.
I love her. She's great. Great.
You always know exactly how she feels about how her team is performing.
Very Dutch. And for that, we appreciate her. We really, really do. Emily, score prediction, please. Are there numbers?
No. I'm a bit of a pessimist, to be honest. I'm gonna say 1-1 heartbreak.
1-1 heartbreak.
We're gonna lead again, and then we're just gonna do a Villa.
Gonna do a Villa. Imagine the day where we stop doing a Villa. How fantastic is that going to be? How fantastic indeed. And also let's have 1-1, maybe. We're probably going to score at like the 31st minute again. And just like, okay.
And then I'll spend the whole game stressed.
Yeah.
At least we've told everyone that Villa did score in the 31st minute, rather than one of the podcasts I listened to today that the other day that said that in the Villa Everton game, Villa scored in the 3rd minute and then had to wait. And I was like, what?
How can you get that so wrong? It's literally all over the internet.
I was like, I'm sure it didn't feel that quick. Like, I'm sure we did not score that early on. I was like,
she only went to make a cup of tea.
4 times. And I was like, am I going mad? Like, then again, they also said that Jess Simpson was on loan from Man City, not Man United. So maybe,
So it's not a reputable podcast, this. No.
No comment.
So I won't tell you just in case. Tracy, we'll swiftly move on. Tracy, what are you thinking? You still thinking it's 2-2?
Yeah, 2-2. Yeah. I think we might get more than the 1. But yeah, I think we're going to do a Villa.
Oh, yeah, same.
Hashtag do a Villa. Should we get t-shirts? Get t-shirts.
I think the worst do a Villa was still last year against Arsenal. That was the worst.
All in extra time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. But for those 75 minutes, no.
Was that when Maz scored?
90 minutes.
Yeah, when Maz scored. Yeah.
Yeah, Maz scored, and then
Maz scored.
We just seemed
we held on for so long.
We did.
And then there was like 12 minutes of extra time, and they scored 2 goals in that extra time.
Yeah, where those 12 minutes come from, I'm still bitter about it. I have no idea where the 12 came from.
But I felt even before the extra time got added on, I was like, Arsenal have got this, that like they could score here, because we are just sitting in our own box.
That was right at the start of the season when they were really keen on the whole, we're going to count every single second that nothing's happening, and all of the games had ridiculous amounts of extra time.
Oh, Nick has made a good point about Rachel's hamstring.
Yes. One thing we didn't mention, how is Rachel's hamstring? Yeah. Because she went off. How did it look in real life?
Than she did.
It didn't look good.
No. Because she was running, she was clearly like holding it and limping. And then carried on. And then we had possession back and we were like, put the ball out so you can get off.
Yeah.
And then off she went trying to run again. And
of course.
Eventually came off, but
I think if she broke her leg, she'd still try and run on it.
Yeah.
Same with Kirsty Hansen.
Yeah, that's true. It's annoyingly true. Yeah. Well, here's hoping we've got her.
We might have to play all 3 of our midfielders.
But what if something happens? We'll just put Sophia in goal. Sabs can come on.
Sabs can
play. Sabs played outfield, but
Sabs can play. Yeah.
What was it? What happens in where were they?
Was it Spain?
Yeah. Where were they?
Marbella.
That's it. Stays in Marbella.
We've seen the pictures. It does not stay. I love it. Right. Has anyone got any final thoughts before we wrap up? Any at all? Oh, that's quite satisfying noise. Now, I did annoyingly go to upload a new slide. However,
it's quite stripy.
Thank you. How about this one? I'm working on it. Bear with. It's an image.
I just thought of one more thing.
There we go. Ta-da! Look how big it is. Can we all see that, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Not quite sure why it's behind all of us, but hey, and it's cutting everyone off. Wonderful. Right. Should we try this?
Oh, no, you can see it.
No, I want us back.
Oh, you've got blue star on it.
Aha!
More at the side.
See, I told you. I've had it for weeks. And it just, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I've actually got it up because there is a lag between, I think I told everyone this last time, there's a lag between the stream and YouTube, and I'm just checking on YouTube that we're up and we're there because it's been cutting us off early and I'm not happy with it. So we are here. So thank you so much for everyone who is watching, listening, watching it back, of course, if you didn't get a chance to watch it live. Now, we are here every Thursday at 8 o'clock. And for those of you who don't know by now, we are a collaboration between the Whole 115 Yards and the Aston Villa Women Fan Club. And across all socials, you can find us on the following. And this is the picture I've been saying I've had for weeks because we're on Blue Sky. There we go. At part of the Pride Pod. So the only thing I can apologise for is the difference between part Pride Pod and part of the Pride Pod. But we can all blame X for that. For not
Can I ask you a favour, Freya?
Yeah.
We're on Blue Sky as well. Could you add the fan club onto that?
Ooh, you are now, yes.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could. That'd be lovely.
Hey, let's make a little note, and it'll be about a month, but I will get back to you. Blue Sky Fan Club. Hey, written it down. There we go. Sorted. So yes, lovely. I'll do that. But do come and join us. Do come and follow us across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We've actually hit everyone at 71 subscribers on YouTube now, which is fantastic. Hey, there we go. We're back. So yeah, 71 subscribers. So thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Because we're wonderful. We give you the content when maybe other channels don't. But we do give you lots of live updates as and when we can. So again, I'm just checking on YouTube. We're back on the screen. We're here. So Chloe, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Where can people find more of you if you'd like them to, please?
I have enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you'll have me back sometime to actually talk about Villa, because I am now your very honorary fan.
Anytime.
I am on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at ChloeBear529, or I'm going to try and use my little journalism account a little bit more, which is Chloe Talk Sports on Instagram and Twitter. Or X, as it's called.
Yes, we've got to be very professional now, haven't we? Because we're ladies in the press and ladies in the media. Put our best foot forward. Sophie, thank you very much as always for all of your knowledge and stats. We couldn't do it without you. Emily, thank you very much. If you would like people to find you, where would you like them to?
I am on Twitter, Sarah Vember. I can't even remember why that's my handle, but there we go. Yeah. I sometimes post stuff or more repost stuff. I use it as a collection of things that are to do with football.
No, we love it. Tracy, actually, the fan club have got a competition, haven't they?
Yes. Thanks for that's a thing there. Competition.
Tell people all about it.
Yeah, so second signed Aston Villa women shirt. Okay, so we've got an away shirt, the white one. It's been signed by the whole Aston Villa women team, and it's been donated by Aston Villa themselves, so it's totally official. and it's been donated by them to help us to increase fundraising to subsidise away travel. Okay, so if you go onto Facebook, have a look for the competition. You can win an Aston Villa women's shirt that's been signed by the whole team. I'm just repeating myself. It's basically a bonus ball competition. You choose a number between 1 to 59. There are a few numbers left. It's £10 to choose a number. Once all the numbers have been chosen, the next lotto draw that there is, if your number comes up as the bonus ball, you win that shirt. And we'll even throw in free postage as well if we're not going to be able to hand it to you at a game. Okay, so fantastic prize there. And again, all the money that is raised, as always, with everything that we do within the fan club to raise money, is not going in my pocket. It is going towards the away travel fund, and it helps to subsidise the travel to keep the prices low, to make football more accessible to everybody.
Which is what we love. And Nick has just broken all of our hearts by saying, probably be the last Darley signature. So that competition is going to be sold out in no time. We hope indeed. But yes, thank you so much to everyone who is watching and listening. And honestly, we're just going to keep filling time until I know for a fact that YouTube has caught up. So if anyone's got any jokes they want to tell.
One final thing.
Yes, go on then.
If you happen to want to go back and watch the Everton Villa match again,
always,
you feel like you want to do that, towards the end, I can't remember what point. I think it was after Miri was down and there was a yellow card shown potentially. They must have moved the mic or something, because you can hear Brian Sorensen going, Emma, Hayley. And she clearly can't hear him. And then somebody's like, oi, come over here. And he's going, Emma. So that's quite a good laugh if you feel like going back and watching that match.
Oh, I love him.
Oh, he's just the purest soul, is Brian.
It reminded us of the nature sketch show thing where they're going, Steve.
That's not Steve, it's Alan. No, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love Brian. But yeah, no, it was good. It was really, really good. Of course, we don't have a commentary corner this week because Emma's not here.
She has just got back just as we're finishing.
But she has. Oh, how annoying. But yeah, the pronunciations, we will just caveat this weekend. On all games.
Is it getting worse? What's going on?
Worse?
Yesterday's cup games. The Man United game. I don't know what that guy was reading, but it wasn't the team sheet.
Because, like, the ones that stick out, of course, was Russell for Alessia, of course. We had about 5 different pronunciations of Russell when she's on as well. That's never just Russell.
Melvie Mallard turned into, like, Marlon or something.
Someone Marlon.
Semi Awujo.
Yeah, and you just think, no. That's, if anything, Simi is the most like phonetically simple name of all of them.
Melvie Marlon, that was it.
Melvie Marlon, yes. Like, how can you? It's not even similar. Like, what? But yeah, some of the pronunciations.
There was another good one, but I can't remember what it was.
No, there was who was everyone taking the mick out of? On the Facebook group, the WSL Facebook group where everyone fights all the time, which is great. They were having a go at it was someone else from Arsenal as well that they just couldn't get right. And you just think, how
Lotte Wibbermoy is consistently Lottie.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's another good one. We haven't got any funny ones.
Hang on. F.A. Mannion.
Yes.
For Aoife Mannion.
She's just football through and through.
It took me, he said it, and I was like, what? I couldn't even work out who he meant.
But you can tell sometimes when someone at half-time's gone, do you want to have a little word? And just, rejig all of your pronunciations. Because the last Manchester United one, where Jace was playing, they were calling it Jersey. And then suddenly at half time, once it was Jace gets the ball. I was like, and then went back to Jay-Z, and I was like,
but even some of her teammates call her Jay-Z. I heard Ella Toon calling her Jay-Z.
Yeah. And I think it's still that point of a lot of people who aren't English just kind of go, they're never going to get it. And they stop, like, it's like almost that just, they've come to terms with it. And it's like, no, we need to pronounce it correctly, preferably with an accent. You know, so you're putting the effort in.
So Kirsten Kasparai was saying that when they asked them to do their name pronunciations for the WSL video at the start of the season, she was like, do you want me to pronounce it in English or Dutch? And they were like, oh, English. So she gave the English, the anglicized pronunciation.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, I didn't realize what they were doing, otherwise I would have said it
how I just say my name.
Yeah.
So how should we be saying it then, Sophie?
I think it's more of a sh sound, like a Kirsten.
I mean, it just sounds like we're taking the mick, doesn't it? So maybe we'll stay away and just say Kirsten.
I think a lot of the players don't mind so long as it's like fairly similar, because I know there was
not offended
discussion around how you pronounce names.
And that's why everyone, WSL Names is a fantastic resource. We have worked with them in the past because they've got clips of the players actually saying their own names. They've got phonetic spellings of everything as well. So do go check it out if you're ever not sure, because that's what we do in the media, and just make sure that we're pronouncing everyone's names right. So there we go. So what we're going to do, I'm just watching myself on catch up, which is quite funny. So I think we've maybe come to the end of it. I'm just going to talk really slowly now because I don't want to cut off mid-sentence. So yeah, let's do that. Let's try. I'll see for next week. I'll have to time it and see what the delay is. So thank you so much again, everyone, for watching, listening, etc. And we will be back at 8 o'clock next Thursday. And we can't wait. So we'll see you then. Thank you. Bye, everyone.